From the cocky god we first met in Thor to the mighty warrior in Avengers, Endgame, Thor has come a long way, but which version truly stands at the top when it comes to pure power? In this video, we're breaking down his biggest battles, his godly abilities, and the moments that made him the legend he is today. So, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's find out which Thor version rules them all.
Thor, the god of thunder, is one of the core members of the Avengers and plays a significant role throughout the MCU. First introduced in Thor 2011, he begins as an arrogant prince of Asgard, wielding Mjolnir, his iconic hammer, which grants him immense power. His journey in the MCU is one of growth and self-discovery. In the Avengers 2012, he joins Earth's mightiest heroes, showcasing his physical strength and leadership abilities. Thor's bond with his brother Loki adds emotional depth to his character, and his growth from a self-centered god to a team player is central to his arc. Thor Ragnarok 2017 is a turning point, as Thor loses Mjolnir and learns to harness his lightning powers, realizing his true strength lies within himself. His leadership and maturity are tested as he takes on the responsibility of rebuilding Asgard. In Avengers Infinity War 2018 and Avengers Endgame 2019, Thor faces immense cosmic threats, notably Thanos, and undergoes significant emotional and physical challenges. His resilience and evolution make him one of the most powerful and enduring characters in the MCU, with his role expanding to cosmic realms and future adventures in the multiverse. To determine which version of Thor is the most powerful in the MCU, we need to establish clear criteria based on his abilities, strength, and the evolution of his character throughout the films. First, Thor's raw physical strength plays a vital role in assessing his power. Over the years, Thor's fighting skills and durability have been put to the test in numerous battles, and his resilience in the face of cosmic threats shows just how much his strength has developed. The more he faces, the more he becomes an enhanced version of his former self. Next is Thor's control over lightning. In the earlier films, his ability to summon storms and lightning was reliant on Mjolnir. However, in Thor Ragnarok, he discovers that his power is not dependent on his hammer but on his own abilities, unlocking a new level of strength. This shift in his powers is crucial when considering his most powerful form. Lastly, Thor's weaponry, especially the introduction of Stormbreaker, also plays an important role in his strength. Stormbreaker not only boosts his combat power, but grants him cosmic-level abilities. When comparing Thor's different versions, it's essential to evaluate his overall control over these aspects and how they enhance his abilities in battle. Throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor undergoes significant changes, evolving in strength, character, and abilities. To understand which version is the most powerful, it's essential to explore Thor's different iterations across the films, each showcasing unique aspects of his power. 1. Classic Thor, Thor and the Avengers. In his first solo film, Thor 2011, Thor begins as an arrogant and reckless Asgardian prince who is banished to Earth. With Mjolnir, he's introduced as a god with immense strength and lightning powers. At this stage, he is still learning responsibility and his true potential. In the Avengers 2012, he becomes a key member of the team, displaying his combat prowess and leadership. However, despite his physical strength, he is still a bit unrefined and emotionally driven, relying heavily on Mjolnir to channel his powers. 2. Thor in Thor Ragnarok 2017. Thor Ragnarok marks a significant turning point for the character. After losing Mjolnir to Hela, Thor discovers that his true power lies within himself, not just in the hammer. This version of Thor is more confident, self-aware, and emotionally mature. His powers, particularly his ability to summon lightning at will, are enhanced to a level that goes beyond what was previously shown in the earlier films. Thor's battle against Hela and his ultimate realization that he is the god of thunder, not the god of hammers, shows his growth. This transformation also reflects a shift in his character, as he moves from being reliant on external objects, like Mjolnir, to fully embracing his divine heritage. 3. Thor in Avengers
Infinity War, 2018.
In Avengers Infinity War, Thor is more powerful than ever before. After the destruction of Asgard, Thor embarks on a quest to forge a new weapon, Stormbreaker. This weapon, created with the help of Eitri, the Dwarf King, becomes his new source of power. Stormbreaker not only allows him to wield even greater strength and control over lightning, but also grants him the ability to travel through space. Thor's enhanced powers are evident during the battle against Thanos, where he is able to critically injure the Mad Titan. Thor's resilience and tenacity are at their peak, and his ability to wield both Stormbreaker and his lightning powers at full strength makes this version one of the most formidable iterations of the character. 4. Thor in Avengers Endgame, 2019. Avengers Endgame presents a Thor who is emotionally broken after failing to defeat Thanos in Infinity War. This version of Thor, often humorously referred to as Fat Thor, is more vulnerable, but his combat abilities remain intact. Thor wields both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, and the combination of these weapons increases his destructive potential significantly. His power, while tempered by his emotional state, still proves to be incredibly effective, particularly during the climactic battle against Thanos. By the end of the film, Thor's arc of redemption and self-discovery helps him reconcile with his true self as a leader, marking his evolution into a more balanced and powerful character. 5. Thor in Thor Love and Thunder, 2022. In Thor Love and Thunder, Thor is more mature, having taken a step back from his heroic duties to find himself. Though he is no longer carrying the weight of leadership, his power remains intact. He continues to wield Stormbreaker, and his battle prowess is on full display, especially against Gore the God Butcher. This version of Thor blends humor, wisdom, and experience, and while he may not be as emotionally volatile as before, his power is still immense. He continues to grow as a character, learning to balance his godly abilities with his personal growth. Each version of Thor brings something new to the table in terms of power, personality, and experience. From the unrefined god in Thor to the fully realized god of thunder in Avengers Infinity War, Thor's evolution highlights his growing strength and wisdom. The introduction of Stormbreaker and his self-realization in Thor Ragnarok further cement his status as one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. Ultimately, the version seen in Infinity War may be considered the most powerful, as he combines unmatched physical strength, his full mastery over lightning, and the mighty Stormbreaker in a way that few other versions of Thor have. Thor's journey in the MCU is defined not only by his character evolution, but also by his epic battles. His strength and combat skills are put to the test in numerous iconic fights, and these battles help define his most powerful versions. In Thor Ragnarok, Thor's battle against Hela is a turning point for his character. Initially, Thor is confident in his strength, but he quickly learns that brute force alone won't be enough to defeat Hela. Hela, the goddess of death, proves to be a formidable adversary, overpowering Thor and even destroying Mjolnir. However, this loss teaches Thor a crucial lesson that his true power comes from within, not just his weapon. In the end, Thor channels his lightning powers to confront Hela, showing that his strength is not limited to his hammer. This battle is a pivotal moment that sets the stage for his later growth and greater power. In Avengers Infinity War, Thor faces one of his most intense challenges, Thanos. After the destruction of his home, Asgard, Thor embarks on a quest to forge Stormbreaker, a weapon capable of taking on the Mad Titan. In the climactic battle, Thor, wielding Stormbreaker and his lightning powers, manages to deliver a devastating blow to Thanos. This fight demonstrates Thor's peak physical power and combat prowess. However, despite his immense strength, Thanos is ultimately able to use the Infinity Stones to undo much of the damage. Still, this moment showcases Thor's resilience and the full extent of his power when armed with Stormbreaker. Thor's fight in Avengers Endgame is also significant. Although emotionally broken and physically different, he proves that his power has not diminished. The combination of Mjolnir and Stormbreaker in his hands allows him to take on Thanos once again. This battle is a reminder that while Thor's emotional state may affect his leadership and decisions, his raw power remains unmatched, making him a key player in the final defeat of Thanos. Each of these key battles illustrates Thor's growth as a warrior, highlighting how his powers, weapons, and experiences have shaped him into one of the most formidable characters in the MCU. When comparing Thor's various versions in the MCU, it's clear that his power has evolved dramatically over time, with different versions showcasing unique strengths. The version of Thor seen in Avengers Infinity War stands out as the most powerful. In this film, Thor wields Stormbreaker, a weapon capable of combating even Thanos, and taps into his full lightning-based abilities. His physical strength, combined with Stormbreaker's cosmic power, makes him a force to be reckoned with, capable of delivering a blow to Thanos that nearly changes the course of the war. His confidence, resilience, and battle experience place this version at the peak of his power. On the other hand, Thor. Ragnarok sees him unlock his true potential, realizing that his power lies not in Mjolnir, but in his own ability to summon lightning. This marks a shift in his character, moving from dependency on his hammer to self-reliance. While this version is incredibly powerful, it doesn't quite reach the raw destructive force seen in Infinity War Thor, who combines both his physical power and a magical weapon. Ultimately, while each version of Thor brings something valuable, whether it's the emotional growth seen in Endgame or the raw power in Infinity War Thor in Avengers, Infinity War represents the pinnacle of his strength. The combination of his battle skills, Stormbreaker, and unlocked powers positions this version as the most formidable iteration of the God of Thunder. Looking ahead, Thor's future in the MCU holds exciting possibilities that could further elevate his character and power. One potential direction is the introduction of more cosmic and godly elements, expanding on his abilities beyond what we've seen. In the comics, characters like Rune King Thor and Odin Force Thor represent versions where Thor harnesses even more immense powers, including cosmic-level strength and the ability to manipulate universal forces. If MCU decides to explore these versions, Thor could become a figure of unimaginable power, possibly taking on threats that are far beyond what we've seen in previous films. Additionally, Thor's character arc could continue to explore his emotional and psychological growth. The lessons he has learned in Thor, Ragnarok, and Avengers Endgame could lead to a more balanced version of Thor, combining his strength with wisdom and leadership. As Asgard's protector, Thor might be called upon to face new challenges, potentially with the return of characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, or even the inclusion of new cosmic-level threats.
Thor's future also raises the question of whether he will eventually become a more central figure in cosmic storylines, interacting with powerful beings like Galactus, or even wielding powers greater than what Stormbreaker can offer. Whatever direction the MCU takes, Thor's evolution promises to remain a thrilling journey for fans.